morning. I just wanted to pop on here and say hello to everyone and thank you for joining me. I do have a big day planned today. It's starting off actually with running to Tractor Supply. I've got to get a lot of food to get the animals all situated, but I plan to walk you around the property today, show you a little piece of where I live. We live on just about 80 acres, and so the fortunate thing is that I have access to pretty much most of the environment that I'm going to be confronted with. I got a lot of hills. We've made some trails because my husband hunts on the property. There are some different areas that I plan on doing some overnight camping setups, just so I can start to get accustomed to sleeping by myself in the middle of the woods. And the other big thing that I have to take care of within the next week or two is I have to buy a pair of shoes. I do have, several sneakers, but as you can see, none of them are really equipped for the type of hiking that I'm looking to do. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in a few. Hi, so I'm back. Just got all the duck food and the dog food and the chicken feed. I got all that dropped off, and I'm here. This is my driveway, and we're gonna start making our way up over this small little ridge line. And the goal today is, I've walked the property before, actually a lot, but I've never actually sort of thought about how I can use it to my advantage to sort of prep for some of my longer hikes. So that's what I'm going to do today. Just kind of walk around, see what areas would be really good to try and camp at, and just get a better look at the property sort of from my perspective. Usually when I walk around, I'm with Dan and Taylor, and he's looking for the best sites to set up for hunting. So you might see some tree stands along the way. But so here we go. So where I'm at right now is just a little bit over that top ridge line, right by the house, and I found what's probably going to be the best spot for me to, because it's kind of flat. I'll just show you. So right in this area over here, there's some pretty flat ground over there, and so I'm going to go check it out. I want to try and get some of my overnights in before it starts getting really cold, which is also something I'm going to have to learn to deal with, because if you know me, I absolutely hate to be cold, but that's part of it. So let's go. So before I actually start sleeping outside, one of the things that I'm gonna do is bring my husband out here just to kind of take a look at some of the areas that I'm thinking about because I do want to be responsible. I want to make sure that I'm not sort of setting up camp in another animal's home. Even though it is our property, we really like to be respectful of all the animals that live out here. You know, even though my husband is a hunter, we absolutely enjoy the deer. We have so many deer. We have had a bear or two, you know, wander across the property. So we really like to not touch things as much as possible. And I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm not taking up someone else's or something else's space, because we love our animals. It's hard to hold this camera. I need a selfie stick. Sorry, I gotta change angles so I can rest my arm. One of the things that I absolutely love about this property is there's so many trees. It's so beautiful. We're so lucky. We're fortunate, blessed. But the one thing is that we don't have too many, you know, like vista shots, you know, panoramic views. But it doesn't mean that it's any less beautiful. It just means we have so many trees, which means there's so much wildlife. I love being out here listening to the birds. We are very close to Land of Make Believe. It's actually across the street. So if you've ever been to Land of Make Believe in New Jersey, you know where I live now. But I'm gonna make my way down into our next sort of little valley area. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it safely holding the camera, but we're gonna give it a go. So here we go. Trekking poles. I'm gonna need trekking poles. Oh, I'm gonna slide. Okay. I'm turning the camera around because I'm not gonna be able to hold it like this. Made it. So on the property, if you ever see me on this property, there are trails that have been carved out. Like I said, my husband hunts, so he does a pretty good job of kind of maintaining the property in the most minimal way that he can, just to give them paths to get to and from their different stands. But what I like about it right now is now that it's getting colder, everything's kind of growing, kind of regrowing, and he hasn't sort of been able to maintain the trail. It hasn't been necessary to maintain the path, so it's giving me a little bit of a more rough terrain to walk on, which is kind of nice. But I think I have potentially found another area that might be good. Somewhere in here, maybe? Not sure. But actually, now that I'm walking, see, I can even get lost here. I realized I could still go even further back into our property line. So we're gonna turn around and go the other way. I got lost for a minute, but now I know where I'm at. So this is not an area that I would, let me just get you a better shot. This is not an area where I would set up in. My husband dug all that up and had it planted with some really nice grass and clover for the deer. And so he wouldn't be happy if I left my scent in this area. So this is gonna be a no-go for camping for me. But we'll keep going. So since we're walking this way, I might as well go ahead and tell you what you're looking at over here. We have two really huge significant plots on our property where we have a farmer come in and plant soy. And once the soy is ready to be harvested, he comes and picks it all up and takes it with him. So it usually is really tall, nice and lush green, but it's ready to be harvested sometime pretty soon. And they usually use that for animal feed, but the deer love it and they love to be able to bed down in it. Like, I don't know if you can see, there are some areas like where they're kind of like back in right there, kind of like flattened patches where the deer will probably, or have probably bedded down in that area. But this is going to be another no-go area for me. So let's keep going. Tree stand. I don't know if you can see it somewhere in there. Oh. Oh, I could cheat and take the easy way out and use that blind, but nah, not for me. I'm not a hunter. Well, I'm gonna stay out of there. That's another area that he's got planted with some nice, beautiful greens. So I'm gonna leave that area alone. But there is another area up here. Oh God, it's gonna be hard for me to get through. So this area up here in the winter, when we first moved up here, we would bring like the sleds and stuff. And it's a nice incline. It's not really big enough to have like a super awesome ride down with a snow sled, but it's still pretty high up. But I wonder if we still have it up here. My husband, for the kids, because they just hadn't, grown up with this much property, he had brought a bunch of string up here, and he would tie string to different trees. So if the kids were ever out playing and they got lost, and I've gotten lost, as you can see, I got lost with you. They could just find a string, follow it back, and it would take them out to this field that I just showed you. So let me get up here and see what I can find. Definitely new hiking trail runners. Sweet dear. Oh my goodness. Oh, that hurt. This is the last ridge I'm doing. Oh. I made it. I'm so tired. Oh God. I'm currently at the highest point in our property, and I actually am not sure where I'm at, but I'll figure it out. Oh, this is definitely not going to be a camping spot for me because of this bike guy right here. Another tree stand. So, but I definitely have so many opportunities. I got a lot of really great inclines to help me train. So definitely, oh my gosh, I was so happy. I was so grateful. I'm so blessed. Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. And just to remind you, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. All I know is in order to do it, I'm gonna get unplugged and outdoors. I'll see you soon.